I want to talk about that quickly here. With the Philadelphia 76ers absolutely blowing it. Just on a platter, giving the series to the Atlanta Hawks. Callum or Rab, one of you guys can answer this, but who's to blame in Philadelphia for just this mess they're in right now?
You guys can look at my screen if you guys are watching on the video. I think that kind of sums it up. People who willingly buy Ben Simmons jerseys should be crucified. Hot take.
I think people overhyped Ben Simmons so much.
Me.
I think he's a good player. I don't think
at one point I said he was LeBron without a shot, which might be the coldest take, up there with Frank.
That is fucking pretty cold.
I think that would be up there.
He's a good player, but I just don't think he's what. Like, I think the Sixers need a 3-point shooting point guard, and that's not what they have.
They had Chris Paul this year, dude. There's a lot of Chris Paul rumors last year, I remember that, but they had Chris Paul this year. This team would be easily he would wipe him alone would wipe the two teams they played.
There's also the Harden rumors too. Don't forget, I
remember that too. Because of the Murray connection now too, and all that. But
do you think the Sixers are going to trade Simmons?
They have to trade one of those guys.
It's got to be Simmons, I think, because you're not really gonna build a team around Simmons after what he's done.
And you're not getting
he's
anything.
Improved at all. Sorry, if he's improved at all, he hasn't improved at all since the rookie season, which is the main issue with him. If you can't, I don't know what Stephen A was saying. I don't believe him because his sources are usually just trust me, bro. But he said from a close source, God, I'm really quoting Stephen A. Smith, but he said the guy doesn't work hard apparently to a close source, which it's kind of believable, for a Stephen A. Smith quote. So. I mean, if that's the case, it's not. I mean, kind of shows because he's made no improvements since the rookie year. You could even say he's regressed, which is kind of brutal, honestly. Because I was so high on him. That's why I have his fucking jersey. For fuck's sake. But I don't know, man. I don't know what you do. I think you got to trade him. You can't trade Embiid after.
You can't trade Embiid. And if you trade Harris, you're getting nothing in return.
You're not even going to get
that. I was going to say that's a shitty contract. Good Lord.
That was a shitty contract the day it happened. And this year it looked like he may have he may have looked like he was worth it, but
he stepped it up, but he's not worth a max.
I'm on Spotrac right now. Do you want to hear what Tobias Harris's contract is after this season?
Yeah.
Isn't it
so he's got 3 more years after this one
Brutal.
At a base salaries of 36 million next year, 37.6 the year after that, and 39.2 million in 2023.
39.2?
39.27, so 39.3 in 2023, 2024 when he's 31 years old.
I said the Middleton contract was similar, but Middleton's made it to the conference finals multiple times. This guy has the second round once. So I don't I think the Middleton contract really worked out. It was a gamble for Milwaukee too, because they did that just because it's so hard to get stars in markets like that. I know as a Raptors fan, you can't really sign free agents. That's the same thing with Milwaukee. So you got to keep what you got. And that gamble worked because Middleton is great. He's much better than Harris in my opinion. So and he shoots much better when they need him to. I mean, the Middleton contract is a scenario where taking a risk on a guy maxing him out works out. Where I don't know. I mean, obviously his regular season, for Harris this year, his regular season was much better than, really any of his regular seasons. Maybe when he's on the Clippers, that one year he got traded was okay, but even then, I don't know why Philly needed to max him. In my opinion, I guess it may have been the relationship with Butler. I don't really even know what happened with that. Because I know Embiid and Butler had a good relationship and all that, but I don't know, man. I think I knew from day one from that contract, I feel like that one was not going to work out.
The Simmons thing, I do want to make one more point after this, but the Simmons contract, he's got 4 more years after this. He'll be making 33 million next year, 35.4 the year after that, 33.8 in 23-24, and then 40.3 in 24-25 when he's 28 years old. And there's also a 15% trade kicker. So basically his contract goes up 15% once you trade him.
Shit. Shit. What do you even return? What do you get in return for Ben Simmons? Obviously, you went on trade thing and like the ESPN trade thing. It said Davis for Simmons apparently gives the Lakers 6 wins.
That was my first thought was like, because I root for the Lakers now until the Sonics come back. But like Simmons kind of makes sense in a way if you put him on the Lakers where he does, like obviously the contract sucks. Like that's a bad contract. But you put him in a spot where he doesn't have a lot of pressure, because obviously he hasn't done well with the pressure in Philadelphia. You get him in a spot with a lot of shooters. Callum, you mentioned before we recorded about Portland. Portland makes a lot of sense. I've heard Golden State is another team.
But who's Golden State giving up? Wiggins?
I was going to say Wiggins and...
But Golden State already has like two max contracts. They have Draymond Green's contract.
They paid, like, they didn't obviously pay Oubre $80 million, but they paid $80 million this year to keep Oubre.
Yeah.
So like they have the money and they're willing to pay money for these guys. So, like, I don't think the money is the issue there, especially if they believe they have a team. I don't know where he plays though. You got to put him as a forward. I think you might have to put him as a
small forward, but like.
No, even power forward, I think. I think you even put him as a power forward. You put like Wiseman, Simmons, and then you put like Simmons, Wiggins,
Green,
Clay, Curry.
Curry.
I don't. Gosh, yeah.
Apparently on the ESPN trade machine, Wiggins and Bazemore for Simmons works, but it does give the 76ers 4 less wins, and it doesn't do anything for Golden State.
Yeah, if you're trading Wiggins for him, you don't. There's no point of. I think because you need, or if you get like someone in free agency, but at that point you don't really have much money to play with, and you're really. I mean, if you want to go deep into luxury tax, it's just going to cost you so much, and it's not. It might not even be worth it because does Simmons even? I guess Simmons does fit on a team like that where he's going to be kicking it out to like the best shooters ever. Whereas,
you just get him as a playmaker. Like that's all you like. That's all you need him for. You don't need him.
It does suck. Like someone I thought as skilled as him is looking like he's just going to be a average playmaker, which is. I mean, he's a good defender, but come on, the guy is so skilled, right? Like, it's brutal. Here's
the thing: Philadelphia is where the Maple Leafs will be a year from now when the Maple Leafs don't make a cup or don't get out of the first round again. Where we're gonna be talking about with the Maple Leafs and they don't get out of the first round. It's like, okay, you got to trade one of the big guys. That's where we are. That's where we're at with Philadelphia. Where the 76ers are like, okay, you haven't got to a conference finals yet. You have to trade one of the guys. Like this isn't working.
You gotta shake it up. You gotta shake it up.
Like this isn't working. You got to do something different. And I don't know what you do if you're Philly. I guess it's trade Simmons and hopefully you get a good offer in return. I don't know who that team is or where that fit is, but I would look for somebody West Coast. I can't imagine they want to trade him within conference.
No.
So
yeah, you don't want to trade him to the same conference, I don't think, but I guess I don't know. This is gonna be. It's going to be weird. It's going to be a weird thing. I don't know.
I was going to say, Rav, it feels like ever since we've started this podcast, or at least the third version of it, like since we moved to SFU, like a lot of the sports talk has been the Sixers, Simmons.
It has been just because like the Sixers is a team that they've been like playoff team, and every year they're like, oh, this is their year. And like, they haven't really even done much to like, I mean, I guess you could say, the year they had Butler, Harris, that year, Kawhi hit the greatest game winner ever. Like, I guess you could say that, but they were like one shot away, one of the best shots ever away from going into the conference final. And you could argue they had a good chance against both the other teams they're going to play. But even then, like I don't know. I don't know what you do. If you kept those guys that year, you had something going for the next year. Because if you go another year with the team they had in 2019, they're going to at least make the conference finals next year, in my opinion. Especially because we didn't have Kawhi. They had a much easier route. But obviously that didn't work.